how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm here with video number 3, counting down my top 40 albums of 2023, and in today's video I will be counting from number 20 to number 11, so we are fast approaching my top 10 albums of the year. But today, like I said, I'm going to be counting down from 20, or up rather, I don't know why I keep saying that. I'll be counting up from 20 to number 11. Now, if you haven't seen the first 2 episodes of this mini-series, where I count from 40 to 31 and then 30 to 21, they will be in the same playlist as this video, so go and check those out if you haven't already done so. Okay, so coming in at number 20, released on the 23rd of June via Wise Blood Records, I have Krigsgrav with Fires in the Fall, and it's the 7th studio album from the blackened melodic death doom band. So this particular record was named after a poem written by Robert Louis Stevenson, and it really does blend genre boundaries. They've got a bit of everything going on in this record. It's really melancholic with huge Scandinavian influences. It's a really intricate record, but it also flows really smoothly. It's not jarring in the slightest, despite how intricate it is. It's seamless. The transitions are absolutely gorgeous in this record. It has powerful, catchy riffs, really biting, demonic vocals, epic, sprawling soundscapes, and really huge, muscular attitude with this. It's brutal, it's ferocious, it's incredibly heavy and hard going, but there's also a lot of beauty and a lot of atmosphere with that as well. My favourite track of this record has to be The Black Oak. It really did draw me in and it held my attention for so long. It's just an absolutely beautiful track. So if you like your blackened death doom metal with a lot of melody in there, definitely get on to this one, especially if you like it with heavy Scandinavian influences. This one is definitely for you. But coming in at number 20, starting off today's video, I have Krigsgrav with Fires in the Fall. Okay, so coming in at number 19, this is another band that needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever. Released way back at the beginning of the year on the 13th of January via Relapse Records, I have Obituary with Dying of Everything. Again, US death metal at its absolute finest. I'm a huge fan of Obituary. I absolutely adore this band, and this record is definitely one of their stronger records. I loved this. 2023 was really a meaty year in terms of iconic death metal bands releasing absolutely amazing albums. You've got Cannibal Corpse, Cryptopsy, Dying Fetus, and now leading the charge right at the very beginning of this year is Obituary. This band are absolutely legendary, and this record is everything that you would expect from an Obituary record, but more of it. It's incredibly muscular, in your face, groovy stompy stomps. I like my groovy stompy stomps in my death metal, and it's just an absolutely amazing record. It's really chuggy, flying solos, desperately grasping demonic vocals that are very distinct, amazing blast beats. The blast beats in this are absolutely insane. You've got heavy groove elements and proper swinging mid-tempo beats. Basically, they incorporate all of this groove-laden stuff, but they also don't lose their edge. They still maintain that very old-school death metal sound that they're known for, and they just combine it with a lot of groove and a lot of mid-tempo swinging beats, and I absolutely adored this record. My favourite track of this record is definitely The Wrong Time. It's probably the most listened to track off that record. I absolutely love it. Again, it's very rhythmical, but it's incredibly heavy and brutal at the same time. So coming in at number 19, I have the legendary Obituary with Dying of Everything. Okay, so coming in at number 18 is a record that I absolutely fell in love with. The little history nerd in me absolutely adored this record. Released on the 1st of September, it's the 2nd studio album from Wield and Woe for the Good of the Realm, and I absolutely adored this. This is medieval classic black metal. Medieval, I was all over that. I love history. I read up about history all the time. A lot of the stuff that I do on this channel is looking at the history and the mythology behind those kind of themed tracks and albums from different metal bands. So when I saw that this was medieval black metal. I was all over this and I was not disappointed. So basically this combines all of the majestic air of the medieval period with classic ferocious black metal. Tales of kings, knights, sword fights and enchanting adventures. This is brutally elegant and incredibly atmospheric. The medieval themes throughout this just adds a whole other layer of atmosphere to this record, and I loved this. This is just full of frantic shredding, desperate rasping vocals, and a lot of really grandiose attitude. I adored this. This was an absolutely stunning record. Bless the Stone is the track that opens the entire record, and it's definitely my favourite. It's rousing, it's opulent, it's incredibly atmospheric. There's a lot of historical kind of sounds throughout it as well, and there's just something that really grabs your attention, and it's incredibly addictive, not to mention incredibly heavy at the same time. So definitely check this out for something a little bit different. I absolutely loved this and I cannot recommend this one enough. So coming in at number 18, I have Wield and Woe with For the Good of the Realm. Okay, so coming in at number 17, and again, I'm going right back to the beginning of the year, released on the 10th of February via Nuclear Blast Records, I have In Flames with Foregone, and it's their 14th studio album from the Swedish melodic death metal band. Now, it's absolutely no secret that In Flames have a very varied discography under their belts, and a lot of their records, for me personally, just do not hit the mark at all, but this record is definitely a good sign of things to come. I honestly believe that this is the strongest comeback that In Flames have had since 2006's Come Clarity, which I absolutely loved as well, but the albums between Come Clarity and Foregone, there's a couple of tracks here and there that I like, but for the most part, it's generally unremarkable, but this is definitely an incredibly strong record. It incorporates the best of their old school sound with the new approaches that they've been experimenting with throughout the years. Rhythmically powerful choruses. The emotion in this is incredibly ferocious, it's very emotionally charged. Wonderfully groove-laced stomps. I absolutely love the rhythm in this, and it's just incredibly addictive, really atmospheric, with a lot of that synthy goodness that I absolutely love in my metal music. I absolutely adored this entire album, but I have to say my favourite track of this record is definitely a dialogue in flat B minor. There's just something about that track that I can't help but sing along to at the top of my lungs incredibly badly because I am tone deaf. I have no musical ability in my bones whatsoever. Nobody needs to hear that. I will not be doing that for the camera. But I absolutely love that track. There's just something about it. I can't help but sing along to it. It's probably one of their more emotionally charged tracks on the record, but it is incredibly ferocious as well as being incredibly emotional. So I absolutely adored this. I adored the entire album, to be honest. I'm very, very happy that In Flames have made their comeback with such a strong record. So coming in at number 17, I have In Flames with Foregone. Okay, so coming in at number 16, I have an album that absolutely blew up online, especially in the metal Twitter community. I saw so many people talking about this album, and quite rightly so. Released on the 3rd of November via Nuclear Blast Records, this is the third studio album from Green Lung with This Heathen Land. And this is doom, occult rock metal. It's not something I tend to delve into all that often, I'm going to be honest. But there was something about the album artwork that I just absolutely loved, and I was not disappointed by this record at all. Folklore, magic, mystery, a lot of the themes and the lyrics for this album are centred around British folklore, myths, legends, and mysticism. Huge anthemic choruses, beautiful melodies. It's ridiculously catchy and has a really big presence about it. It's very, very rousing and very, very uplifting and positive. The clean vocals throughout this entire record are incredibly powerful, very emotive, and very, very crisp and clear, and they really do grab your attention and hold it throughout the entire record. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's the classic doom kind of sound that you get from Black Sabbath meets the catchy flamboyantness of Ghost, for example. But if you're not a fan of Ghost, please don't be put off by this. At least give it a shot. Synthy organs, catchy riffs, Absolutely thunderous drums. This record is just utterly bewitching, and the subject matter, the lyrics and the themes are so fascinating. The British Isles, the UK, which is where I'm from, is absolutely teemed in this stuff. Lots of folklore, myths, legends, mysticism, and magic. Definitely check this out, it is so cool to listen to. My favourite track of this record is actually the closing track, Oceans of Time, and it's an absolutely stunning conclusion to the record based on Bram Stoker's Dracula and the love story between him and Mina. So definitely check that out, it's a gorgeous track, the entire record is just absolutely stunning. So coming in at number 16, I have Green Lung with This Heathen Land. Okay, so coming in at number 15, released on the 8th of September via Testimony Records. This is the second studio album from Sodo Misery with Mazzaroth. Huge orchestral atmospheres that create a very dynamic and opulent layer to this absolutely stunning album, and the musicianship is just absolutely incredible. They actually recorded two different versions of this record. So you've got this version that has all the opulent, dramatic, theatrical flair with all the orchestral and synthy moments. And they also recorded a version without all of that as well. But I am so happy that they went with the very dramatic, theatrical flair of the orchestration and the instrumentation in this, because it sets it apart from lots of different albums that incorporate that kind of melodic death black metal sound. The orchestration in this really grabs your attention and it's absolutely stunning. The contrast between the guttural demonic vocals and the clean melodic soaring solos are just beautiful, and the guitar work is incredibly intricate, incredibly soaring, the solos fly, and it's just an absolutely beautiful album. So if you like your melodic black death metal, if you like a combination of guttural vocals and clean vocals with all of that opulent orchestral flair throughout the entire record, this one is definitely for you. My favourite track of this record is definitely A Storm Without Wind. This track is absolutely incredible. It's chaotic, but it's soaring and it's very, very addictive, very theatrical and dramatic and so powerful. The energy behind this and the beauty behind this is just absolutely stunning. So coming in at number 15, I have Sodo Misery with Mazzaroth. Okay, so coming in at number 14, released on the 20th of October via Relapse Records, it's the 5th studio album from Mørker with Spine. And this is Danish atmospheric black folk metal, and I fell in love with this record. I absolutely fell in love with this and I listened to it a lot. It's one of those records from this year that I repeatedly go back to, and there's just something really captivating about it. So this record embraces both everything about classic black metal and heavy Scandinavian folklore elements. It's haunting, it's powerful, it's just something that's incredibly ethereal, it's out of this world. This sounds like it comes from another plane entirely, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Huge blast beats, frantic shredding, the riffs in this are powerful. It's intriguing, incredibly captivating, and there's just a really dense, beautiful atmosphere around this entire record. So if you're looking for a black metal record that kind of sounds like it's from another world and it takes you on a spiritual journey, this one is definitely for you. My favourite track of this record is one of the very first tracks, which is Like Humans. It's something that you can sing along to, but it's also incredibly ferocious, very catchy, and it just draws you in. So coming in at number 14, I have Mørker with Spine. Okay, so coming up to the last three records that I want to talk about in today's video. Number 13, released on the 3rd of November via Northern Silence Productions. It's the second studio album from Fedra with Militant, Penitent, Triumphant. And this is atmospheric melodic black metal. Now, this is a mysterious solo project that has no identification to speak of whatsoever. The only thing we know about the artist that's behind this solo project is the fact that he's been around since the 90s and he has played in various different bands across various different genres since the 1990s, and a lot of this takes inspiration from the 90s black metal scene. This record is absolutely massive on the atmosphere, huge soaring melodies, haunting synthy elements, really raw, brutal vocals, and it's just incredibly expressive. This is a huge, epic soundscape, and it just takes you on a massive dark journey, and this again really sucked me in. I was incredibly addicted to this record when it first came out, and I still listen to it on a regular basis. My favourite track of this record is definitely Punishment Nailed Deep. There's something very enticing about that particular track, and again, it just drew me in and I found it highly addictive. So coming in at number 13, I have Fedra with Militant, Penitent, Triumphant. Okay, so coming in at number 12, released on the 21st of April, this is a self-released record and it's the third studio album from Atavistia with Cosmic Warfare. And this is Canadian symphonic melodic black death metal. This record is incredible. This belongs in a Ridley Scott movie, but make it metal. That's the kind of epic orchestral soundscapes that you're up against here. It's a symphonic mix of technically precise riffage, a lot of heavy atmosphere, soaring melodies, and it's just absolutely stunning. Now, the record itself does actually open with a 2.5 minute long instrumental, and honestly, when I said it is something that belongs from a Ridley Scott movie, that's exactly what you get. It's incredibly dramatic, really, really theatrical, uplifting, rousing. There's a very sinister air about this instrumental before it just kicks in and it explodes straight out the gate with furious riffage, mad blast beats, and incredibly powerful vocals. But not only does it have the orchestral side of things, there are a lot of really cool sci-fi sound effects throughout this entire record as well that completely catch you off guard, but at the same time, they're very well placed. They're not just stuck in there randomly, and it doesn't ruin any of the songs at all. In fact, it adds to the atmosphere. This record is incredibly addictive, and I can't stop listening to it. This charges forward with pure aggression and grandiose flair, and it's incredibly enticing. The combination of guttural vocals and clean vocals are incredibly powerful, and it's a great mix. It's really catchy, it's very opulent, and if you like your dramatic, melodic blackened death metal with a lot of really cool synth and orchestral moments throughout it to keep you interested, definitely check this one out. Plus that artwork is absolutely stunning as well. My favourite track of this record is Ethereal Wanderer. There's just an absolutely stunning, grandiose, brutal beauty about this particular track, and it really does suck you in. So coming in at number 12, I have Atavistia with Cosmic Warfare. Okay, coming in at number 11, and the last entry for this particular video, number 11, released on the 12th of May via Metal Blade Records. It's the 10th studio album from the iconic Cattle Decapitation with Terracite. Tech grind, death grind, whatever genre you want to try and put them into, there's something very, very unique about this band, and I adore them. It's a unique fusion of tech death metal, a little bit of black metal, a little bit of prog, some deathcore. Again, it's very, very difficult to kind of put them into a subgenre because they kind of incorporate a lot of different things to make a really unique sound. But this is incredibly addictive as well. And despite the complexity of the band's sound, it's actually really easy to listen to and it's incredibly catchy. Massive blast beats, really intricate guitar work, and proper goblin-like guttural vocals. The vocals are so distinct, they're so unique, and when I say goblin, please don't be put off by that if you haven't listened to this band before, because they're done so well. I love the vocals. You can instantly tell it's Cattle Decapitation the second these vocals come in. This record goes incredibly hard and it is so relentless. This is a band that are not afraid to experiment at all, and when they do experiment, they experiment so well and it works out for them every single time, and this is definitely my favourite release from the band so far. My favourite track of this record is Terrasatic Adaptation. It's very catchy, and even though I can't sing, I still try and do the goblin vocals. Nobody needs to hear that. I love that track. I play it on a regular basis. There's something very catchy about it, something very sinister. It's incredibly heavy, but it's also very easy to listen to. And that's it for today's video. I flew through them as quickly as I possibly could. So that's numbers 20 to number 11. It was the third video from my top 40 albums of 2023. So check out this video and the entire playlist, which lists all of the other albums that I absolutely adore from this year. There's been so many to choose from. This list was so difficult to make, but I'm very, very happy with the final results. Let me know what you think of the records that I've spoken about in today's video. Pop a little comment in the comment section below to give me your thoughts, and also feel free to share your own lists. I absolutely love reading your opinions and checking out your lists and what you like to listen to, and I absolutely love it when you guys discover something new and you get all excited just like I do. Once again, thank you so much for all of your support. If you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel, I really do appreciate it. My top 10 of 2023, so counting from number 10 to my all-time favourite album of the year, will be out this coming Thursday. So I'll see you then.